Once again, I cannot reiterate how consistent the dumb fuckery is from this side of the political aisle, or at least this side of this particular argument, right? This person here says, sounds like free healthcare. Where do you think that money comes from? Just print more. Is that what you're under the impression that every other industrialized nation on the planet does? Is that they just print money to pay for everybody's healthcare? Aren't you the ones that bitch and moan about how much you have to tax a society in order to pay for that? I know you are because you troll my account regularly. And it's guys like you that constantly bitch about, well, I don't want to be taxed that much, right? I don't want to be taxed what it would take to, what they tax people in other countries in order to cover healthcare. And now here you are asking where that money comes from. Well, if you're bitching about the taxes, where the fuck do you think it comes from? Our taxes. Right? So here's the deal. Right now, most people in this country get their health care from employer-based or employer-provided health care. Wherever you work has some type of health insurance plan, and depending on what kind of boss you have and depending on what kind of company you have, it ranges in how much you pay out of your pocket to have it. If you have a really great boss, they're covering all of your health care. Or if you're in a really great union, they're covering all of your health care in some way, shape, or form. In most cases, they take a deduction out of your check and you pay month to month to have your health insurance, right? What we're saying is, let's stop doing that. Instead of paying it to a health insurance company where somebody's going to make a profit off of our illness, where there's some CEO somewhere sitting on some $50 million yacht going, oh, no, we need to up our profits this year, deny more claims. Instead of giving our money to that system, we want to keep our money in-house by giving it to ourselves. Remember, the federal government, the state government, the county government, your local government, they work for you. They're your elected officials. So we want to, instead paying it in a premium, we want to pay it in a tax. And if everybody pitches into the pot across the board in the United States of America, we can lower the prices of medication and doctor's visits and hospital stays and ambulance rides and CAT scans because we have more bargaining power. We're not bringing a small group of patients in an insurance plan. We're bringing every single person in the country. And so we lower our collective costs. And we're not paying to make some billionaire rich. I've done this before, and I'll do it again with you. I know you've seen it. You hang around my page a lot. Grab a piece of paper and a pen. Draw a line down the middle of it. On the left side, I want you to write down what 10% of your gross pay is before anything comes out of your pay. 10% of your gross pay. On the right, I want you to write the following number. That's 10% per month. Okay? On the right, I want you to write down the following. How much you pay, how much comes out of your check for your health insurance premium. How much comes out of your check for Medicare monthly. How much comes out of your check for Medicaid monthly. How much comes out of your check for Social Security monthly. I'll explain it in a minute. And then your monthly out-of-pocket expenses to go see a doctor, to get your medication, whatever out-of-pocket expenses you have month to month for medical expenses. We want to replace everything on the right with that 10% on the left. Because in other industrialized nations, around that amount, sometimes lower, sometimes more, that 10% covers all your doctor's visits, all your specialists, your ambulance rides, your CAT scans, your hospital stays, your procedures, gives you a national pension, hence the reason why you don't have to have the Social Security deductions anymore. And, depending on where you're at, either pays for your medications or covers everything above and beyond what would essentially be the equivalent of like 10 or 20 bucks here in the United States on your prescriptions. And the poorer you are and the sicker you are, the less you pay. You don't pay into these systems, usually. That's how we want to do it. You wanted to know where the money came from? There's where the money comes from.